This is NTC Manual 11-1, Chapter 2, CAP Cadet Program. This chapter is a summary of CAP Regulation 60-1, which outlines and describes the Civil Air Patrol Cadet Program. It is recommended that you read the document as well as this chapter. This chapter will take excerpts from the document and relate them to Nevada Wing Encampment for the cadet staff. The document referenced in this chapter is CAP Regulation 60-1, Cadet Program Management. Mission. The mission of the CAP Cadet Program is to transform youth into dynamic Americans and aerospace leaders. CAP accomplishes its cadet program through a curriculum of leadership, aerospace, fitness, and character. At encampment, every training and instructional activity is focused on at least one of these four elements of the cadet program. Our cadets are to be tomorrow's aerospace leaders. Military model. The program follows a military model and emphasizes Air Force traditions and values. While there are many aspects of military and Air Force training and service, e.g., dormitory and uniform inspections, Air Force-style drill and ceremonies, and military ranks in the chain of command, used at encampment, the purpose of the cadet encampment and the military's boot camp, for example, are different. The cadet encampment does not attempt to break down cadets and build them back up as proper airmen or cadets, but uses military-style training to teach the building of and show the benefit of having traits such as discipline, teamwork, and character. Thus, a different approach to training than those used outside of CAP must be taken. Nonetheless, methods used outside of the CAP cadet program, for example, JODIs, chants, and inspection methods, can become useful towards completing the goals of the cadet encampment if used properly and within the regulations of the CAP cadet program. Key traits of cadet life. These traits describe what it means to be a cadet and describe the desired look and feel of cadet activities. Encampment Cadet Training Cadre should promote these 5 traits among their cadets. First, the uniform. Wearing an Air Force-style uniform promotes teamwork, encourages higher standards of personal conduct, and distinguishes cadets from other ordinary youth. Cadets at encampment should wear the uniform with respect and pride. Aerospace theme. Cadet training at encampment should encourage their cadets, whenever possible, to explore and investigate aerospace careers and sciences. CAP members often hold in common a love of flying, and CAP is identified as an air-minded organization by the Air Force. Opportunity to lead. Every training activity at encampment should provide opportunities for both cadet staff and students to lead. This includes planning events, making decisions, and teaching and mentoring junior ranking cadets. Cadet staff lead in an official capacity and, through doing what is required of their position, develop leadership skills. Cadet students should be encouraged whenever possible to become leaders among their flightmates by encouraging, assisting, or even directing their flightmates. Challenge. CAP and encampment can challenge youth physically, academically, morally, or personally. Encampment is usually the most challenging activity a Phase 1 cadet goes through, and serving on a cadet staff positions comes with its challenges as well. By being challenged, cadets are provided the opportunity to grow in the areas in which they are challenged. Fun. CAP should be fun. Cadets who work hard in CAP reap the most benefits, but the program should not be another form of school. It needs to be fun, hands-on, rewarding, and exciting. Cadet instructors should maintain a good balance of fun and discipline in encampment, so the cadets can benefit from having both of these as part of their encampment experience. Cadet memory work. The following pieces of memory work are memorized throughout the CAP cadet program. These help the cadet understand their place in CAP and aid in their understanding of the encampment program. Memorization of these items can also provide a challenge and an opportunity for cadets to use teamwork. Now, Section 2.4 of this chapter has all of the pieces of memory work that we can use at encampment for the students. I'm not going to read each and single one of them, but just know that it's all in the manual if you want to read it, if you want to re-memorize it. One thing I will go over is the chain of command. So everything listed here is something that we can use as memory work. We're not necessarily going to use all of it. In the end, it depends on what's in the students' SOP handbooks. That's what we're going to use as the memory work so that they have a physical copy they can actually read. But the chain of command, just so you guys know, is going to work like this for encampment. So for the Air Force chain of command, all the way from the Commander-in-Chief, the President, to the Commander of CAP/USAF, that's all going to be the same, just everyone from there to from the Commander-in-Chief to the Commander of CAP-USAF. Then when we get to the Civil Air Patrol chain of command, that's when things change. So we start with the National Commander of CAP, then we have the Pacific Region Commander, the Nevada Wing Commander, and then after that we have the Encampment Commander. After the Encampment Commander, we have the Commandant of Cadets, the Chief Training Officer, the NTC Commander, the NTC Deputy Commander for Operations, the NTC Deputy Commander for Support, the Students Cadet Training Squadron Training Officer, the Students Cadet Training Squadron Commander, the Students Cadet Training Squadron First Sergeant, the Students Flight Training Officer, the Students Flight Commander, the Students Flight Sergeant, the Student Flight Guide, the Students Element Leader, and the Students Assistant Element Leader. Like I said, we won't necessarily use all of this. Just wait until we publish the SOV handbook, and that'll have the last version of what we expect to hold the students to in terms of memory work. Now, other items can be used as memory work if they support the cadets' training and are reinforced in training or classes. For example, you could teach the cadets and ask them to repeat later on during an inspection the key traits of cadet life or the 4 forces of flight, things like that they should pay attention in classes for, or something like that. Program elements. To fulfill its mission, the cadet program is organized around 4 main program elements: leadership, aerospace, fitness, and character. At encampment, every training and instructional activity is focused on at least one of these 4 elements of the cadet program. Leadership. The goal of the cadet program's leadership element is to develop in cadets the ability to think independently and lead others in an atmosphere of teamwork and mutual respect. At encampment, activities such as drill, the obstacle course, class instruction, and inspections introduce Air Force perspectives on leadership to cadets and allow them to practice leadership methods in both a hands-on and an academic environment. Aerospace. The goals of the cadet program's aerospace element are to inspire in youth a love of aviation, space, and technology, provide them with a foundation in aerospace's scientific principles, and introduce them to aerospace career opportunities. At encampment, activities such as orientation rides, classroom instruction, and rocketry complete these goals for cadet students. Fitness. The goal of the cadet program's fitness element is to develop in cadets a healthy, active lifestyle. At encampment, activities such as volleyball, physical training, and Fit to Fly all instruct cadets on how to live a healthy lifestyle and encourage them to do so. Character. The goal of the cadet program's character element is to develop in cadets an ability to think critically about moral and ethical issues and to develop a commitment to live CAP's core values. The 3 main topics emphasized by the character element are a drug-free ethic, resilience in the face of adversity, and fulfilling goals at the lowest risk possible. At encampment, all cadets will encounter situations and opportunities that will challenge their character. Instructors should use these opportunities as both a tool for students to grow their character and as a teachable moment about good character. Program phases. The cadet program is organized around 4 phases of learning. They are progressive in that the subject matter gradually becomes more challenging, learning objectives become more exacting with cadets growing from proficiency to mastery, and a broader set of opportunities become available as they advance. At encampment, the 4 phases correspond to all positions of the NTC. Cadet students are held to the expectations of a Phase 1 cadet. Flight sergeants, first sergeants, and support staff cadets are held to the expectations of a Phase 2 cadet. Flight commanders, squadron commanders, and support department directors are held to the expectations of a Phase 3 cadet. The NTC Commander, the NTC Deputy Commanders, the squadron commanders to a certain extent, and the NTC Adjutant are held to the expectations of a Phase 4 cadet. Regardless of a cadet's grade or phase in Civil Air Patrol, they will be held to the expectations of the phase of their position in the Nevada Training Corps. Prohibitions. CAP Regulation 60-1 prohibits abuse, hazing, disrespect, mocking or insults, racial, cultural, or ethnic slurs, inappropriate touching or public displays of affection in uniform, bullying, energy drinks, alcohol, or drugs prohibited under federal law, the drinking of soda when the temperature is over 85 degrees, and weapons. The complete rules and regulations of the NTC can be found in NTC Manual 11-2. Part 2 of CAP Pamphlet 52-23 guides readers on how to implement wholesome, age-appropriate military-style cadet training into cadet activities. This is important for cadet cadre involved in training and will be discussed further in NTC Manual 12-1.